What's going on, Brad? We're back.
Testosterone.
Yeah, I want to talk about let's talk about testosterone replacement therapy. Can I tell you one of my biggest irks, one of the things that bothers me more than anything is when people use the term performance enhancing drugs when they're referring to testosterone replacement therapy, because they use that as a negative content as and here's the thing about it. That's exactly what testosterone replacement therapy does. Is it enhances your performance in literally
Damn
everything
right.
that you do in the bedroom with your wife, at your job, with your kids. I mean, in any possible way that you can possibly imagine, hormone replacement therapy does enhance your performance. And so, I just wanted to talk about that and let you chime in. And what's your thoughts on that?
I think it does enhance their performance. I not to toot my own horn, but I think I'm doing pretty well in everything that I do, and I think it's probably because my hormones are optimized and I have the energy to do these things. I don't know if it's the testosterone that gets people off their butt in the morning and gets them to the gym, or if that's what gets the testosterone going. But I know one thing: when we get somebody started on testosterone therapy, we never have a bad a bad reaction. Their performance is always enhanced.
It is. It's always enhanced. Again, in every possible way. So that does bother me. So I wanted to chime in on that a little bit. But what's your thoughts on dosage? Because I guarantee you, people look at you and think you do a lot of testosterone, and I know how much you do. So talk about that a little bit.
Dosage, yes, dosage. The thing in the gym, in the gym industry, and then with bodybuilding, they do these massive cycles of steroids, and you hear about these ridiculous doses of testosterone, and it doesn't have anything to do with that. It boils down to how much can you absorb, because what causes the hormone imbalances to begin with is inflammation on the cellular level. If your cells are dysfunctional, full of protein, full of fat, they can't absorb and use testosterone as effectively. So when me, for instance, what works for me, I do intermittent fasting every day.
Yep.
And that keeps your cells empty. That keeps the growth hormone receptor sites and the anabolic and androgenic receptor sites proliferated and at the surface, and it increases absorption. So, I take half the testosterone that most of our patients take.
So I was about to ask you. I'll tell the whole world. I take half a cc of testosterone once a week, which is 110 milligrams.
Yeah.
And so what I've noticed since I've been doing IF, intermittent fasting, for as long as I have, is that I had to lower my testosterone from literally like a cc,
Oh, yeah, me too.
220 milligrams a week to 110 milligrams a week. Do you think that's a result of the fasting? And
absolutely, because
absorbing?
I'll get the same side effects as I did messing around with steroids in my 20s, with just a little bit too much testosterone. I'm supposed to be on 1 cc a week, but I typically do two to three shots in a month, and if I do any more than that, I have anxiety. I start, I get a little on edge, maybe a little irritable, and messes up my sleep. But it's when I have those regulated, I feel like $1,000,000.
Yeah, me too. Why would someone want to get on testosterone therapy?
Well, most people come here because they have no energy.
Yep.
They're losing energy. They're crashing 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And then it's hard for them to get up in the morning.
Yep.
That's the number one thing that we hear when they come in.
Yep.
Now, when they come back, what I hear is their mental clarity and their focus. That's the number one compliment that they come back with, or the first positive side effect. I can think clearer. Of course, they start getting out of the bed earlier. There's no laying around hitting the snooze button anymore. They don't crash at 2 when they come home from work. They have more energy to get stuff
They can go out and throw their ball with their kid in the yard.
Oh, yeah, spend more time with their family. Yes, spend more time with their wife in the bedroom.
Yes.
It's definitely,
which is important,
performance enhancing.
Yeah, it's performance enhancing in every way. So why do you think they've used that term to demonize? When Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa, and that's when they use that performance enhancing terminology.
Yes, because athletes give steroids a bad rap. When in all actuality, steroid hormones are derivatives of cholesterol. Cholesterol is actually a steroid hormone. Estrogen is a steroid hormone. There's 54 of them. testosterone and estrogen being the main two, but
Right.
it's and then the synthetic ones. There's countless others, but not all of them are good. Not all of them promote muscle building or anabolism. Some of them are catabolic, like cortisol. Catabolism, they speed up the breakdown of proteins to reduce inflammation in the body, and your body balances these out naturally. So when you're taking too much of an anabolic, your body will start producing more catabolic hormones to bring to balance that out. So
Right.
yeah. So when you start upping the doses and messing with them large steroid cycle doses, then you're just asking for trouble.
Putting more pressure on your
Yeah.
pancreas, more pressure on your prostate. That's not needed. It's all about that optimal number, right?
It is.
So
It is.
I want to take 1 drop of testosterone, but I want my levels to be 1,000.
Yeah.
I want to take as little of testosterone as I possibly can to keep my levels optimized. And that's me at 50 opposed to me at 25 when I just like more is better.
Yeah, more is not better.
More is not better. More is not better.
Not with hormones, no.
Not with hormones. And again, I think you said it perfect. It's all about absorption. And that's the key. And I think that's why our program here on the way our step one, the way we attack with that detox, the way we
primes them. It primes them for hormone therapy. It also cleans up anything that might disqualify them in the blood. I think one thing that holds people up from coming here, men are hesitant to come in here because they've already asked their doctor for testosterone, and their doctor shot them down. Gave them the test. The test ranges from 265 all the way to 1100. You come in with a 300 testosterone level, your doctor looks you dead in the eyes and says you're all right.
Yep.
For who? A 70-year-old man? No. When you come to a clinic like this, we will optimize that. We'll bring it up to 1100, and what we do that the doctors don't, I think, is we monitor the side effects. If the blood pressure goes up, or we'll do a blood dump if they get too thick. We'll keep them with B12 injections and monitor their blood work on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Whereas their primary doctor is not willing to do that because it doesn't get covered by insurance.
Exactly.
Yes.
I tell people in consultations all the time, it's an analogy, of course, but I tell them, I'm like, you ever done any painting in your life? And most guys have, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, a high-end painting job is 100% about the prep. It's about the sanding and taping. It's about getting the material ready to absorb at a high level. And that is a perfect analogy I believe, for hormones, to translate into hormones. Because if you don't do the pressure washing and the cleaning and get all that metabolic debris, trash, and film out from your cells, you're not going to absorb the testosterone like me and you're absorbing it now. And then you could literally lower the dosage for the same results.
And we see it. We have patients come in, they feel sluggish, they feel tired, and we'll check their levels, and turns out, their level will be at 1500.
Too high.
And we need to bring it down. Yes.
Same side effects.
Quite often. So it's all about finding that sweet spot. But testosterone is relatively safe. If you don't, like anything, if you don't abuse it, you're not going to ever have a problem. Another thing that I wanted to talk about testosterone is guys think that they'll become infertile, or they won't. And that's not true. That may be true with heavy steroid cycles, but with testosterone replacement therapy, we're just getting your levels back to where they were, or where they should be at an optimal level. So you should be having healthier offspring and more fertile.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's another good. That's another myth that is out there that I wanted to address. I'm glad you brought that up. So somebody's out there and they're struggling with something, and they're struggling with energy, like you say. Why should they drive to Douglasville to see me and you? Got any reasons?
I got thousands of reasons. The service.
There you go.
The service. Our service is free. We do all your nutrition. We do the prep. We get you detoxed. We clean you out. We coach you through it. Daily texting, everything.
We give every single patient our cell phone. Mine and your cell phone numbers are on our business cards.
Yeah, I have over 400 people in my cell phone saved with CHMD next to it, their name.
So service is what's going to separate us now, and it's what's going to separate us in the future. So
they don't bug me like I want them to either.
I tell them to text me, bug me, send me.
I love it. I got so much information stored in my phone. As soon as they have a question, I got infographics. I got a whole response already written.
Back to redirecting that energy. You figured it out. That's what's giving you your juice.
The dopamine, yes, because I can tell you if I had drinks the night before and a client texts me, I'll get mad in the past. Now I enjoy it. That's where
They're
my
irritating
yes,
you texting you when
that's why that's why I don't waste my dopamine on things. That's why I do the fasting. That's why I don't use drugs or alcohol. That's why, because when little things that would normally irritate somebody that doesn't have their dopamine are pleasurable for me in life, and you can't put a price on that.
Like you were so excited going to the grocery store
Oh,
and
yeah.
picking out your food for the day, right? I always talk about it. It's the small things.
Yes, that's as thrilling to me as going out to a nightclub in my 20s.
I know.
Yeah.
We've totally redirected it, and I love it. So, yeah. So if people are out there, I just want to encourage them to come in here and inquire about testosterone therapy. Women too.
Women too.
So some women don't even know they have testosterone in their body. I've had a consultation and a woman literally say, I didn't know I have. No, you have it. It's just completely different levels for men. We want our men, like we said, 1,000, 1,100 for optimal. We like our women, maybe 75 to 100 for optimal. So those numbers are very comparable, men and women. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So if you're out there and you're struggling with something and you're struggling with energy, all right, again,
energy is the biggest thing. Mental clarity. Focus.
Come do blood work.
Can't get out of bed. Can't get out of bed. It's not about sex drive. That's not even probably in the top 5 reasons people come here.
No,
I don't think so. Energy.
Energy is number one.
Yes.
So if you're struggling with energy and you want to learn more about testosterone replacement therapy, come do blood work and have a consultation with me and you and sit down for about an hour. At the end of it, you might be crying and hugging. And
It will be.
We do it every day.